Okay, next up we have one of our psychology students here at KU, Alexa May, and she's going to talk about thinking for a change.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name's Alexa May. I'm a psychology student here, a senior, and today I'm going to be talking about thinking for a change, also known as T4C. So basically, a little bit about why I'm doing this research. As I said, I'm a psychology student, and I'm very interested in how cognitions, how changing those can affect our behaviors. And specifically with offenders and prisons and everything, I think that's a very interesting topic. So the scientific basis behind this, T4C is based on cognitive behavioral therapy, meaning that we're changing our thoughts and we're changing our feelings, and through that, our behaviors are also changing. So more about the scientific basis. So most therapies are using cognitive behavioral therapy approaches as the modality of choice, especially within offender programs. So what exactly is it? Like I said, it's a cognitive behavioral change therapy, and it uses interventions to change offenders' thoughts, feelings, kind of just assessing those things that are going on. Its usage, so it's used in many different places, like I said, prisons, jails, detention centers, community corrections, probation offices, parole settings, so basically anywhere where there will be offenders. The prevalence, so there's not actually data on how prevalent this is, but we do know that it's used in most of the 50 states. The National Institute of Corrections, the NIC, they've trained over 10,000 people to facilitate this program, but from there it's out of their hands, so not much data. But the funding in 2020, the federal government gave out $6.6 trillion. Of this, the NIC only gets about 15 to 17 million, which they can spend on creating programs like this, and then from there each prison delegates money specifically. The curriculum, so they use problem solving to change and restructure cognitions through social skills intervention. So again, changing those thoughts and feelings and kind of creating more productive behaviors. The lessons, there's a lot of different lessons within this, a lot of role playing, talking about the objectives of what they're going to be doing, just kind of like putting that into place so that they understand how they're going about these changes. The duration, so there's 25 lessons, 1 to 2 hours per lesson. Usually it's about twice per week, and it's about 30 sections, but this can be extended in an aftercare program if the offenders choose. Facilitator training, so there's no specific training actually. You can go and get trained by the NIC. It's only 32 hours, and then you facilitate two in-person programs, and then just a video about what you've learned. Variability of offenders, so despite where this is being held, the seriousness of the crime, the content always remains the same, but you can change the lessons based on how serious your population is, and individual effects, so Golden et al. Did a study about T4C and said that probationers showed an increase in adaptive problem-solving skills, and they relied less on self-defeating problem-solving styles, which is a very big thing, especially if you're an offender. More about individual effects, so it was shown that juveniles, there was an increase in problem-solving skills and social skills, but if there was that higher criminogenic need, there wasn't an increase in skills, meaning the higher the crime that you committed, there wasn't as much of a difference. Efficacy, so there was an increase in positive problem orientation, rational problem solving, decision making, solution implementations. And then the recidivism rates, so those receiving treatment had a recidivism rate of 23% compared to a 36% rate of those not receiving it, which is a pretty big difference, significantly. The limitations of T4C. So although it is evidence-based because of cognitive behavioral therapy, there's not much specific data on T4C itself, which kind of limits the amount that we know about the specific program. But there is future research coming. Actually, next year, 2025, they're thinking for a Change 5.0, which includes pre and post tests, fidelity tests. It offers it in Spanish. It offers it virtually. And just to conclude this, here's my references, and then just one of the main things to take out of this is, it's so important to have data behind the programs we're implementing, especially for such an important population, just so that we know whether it's working or not.